Hi, thank you for joining me here on Taya's Sweet Aroma. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the recipe for my Detroit style pizza. For this pizza dough recipe, I'm going to be using two of my previous recipes in. The first one is my homemade pizza dough, which I have on the back counter. I'm allowing it to double in size. The other recipe I'm going to be using is my homemade pizza sauce, which I just shared the recipe for right before this one. So you're going to want to make sure you give both of those recipes, check out both of those recipes before you give this one a try. Now, if you're like me and you like a really thick crust pizza with lots of cheese and lots of toppings, then this recipe is one that you're going to want to give a try because this pizza is just so delicious. And the difference between a Detroit style pizza and the traditional pizza is that you can't, I guess he thinks he's singing. He's the background music. But the difference between the Detroit style pizza and the traditional pizzas is that the traditional pizzas, they start out with the sauce directly over the pizza dough. Now, with the Detroit style pizza, you start out with a layer of meat, lots of cheese, then the sauce, whether it's pizza sauce or marinara, whichever one you like to use. And that pizza just cooks up so beautifully, and the edges have a chance to get nice and crispy. The dough cooks through, and that's why that layering process is important when you're making a pizza at home, especially because our ovens don't get as hot as like the pizzeria ovens. And when your crust is that thick, if you have your layer of sauce directly over the pizza dough, it takes a lot longer for that dough to cook up, and sometimes everything on the outside gets cooked before the inside's done. So that meat and cheese, they kind of act like a layer, not a layer, a barrier between your pizza dough and your sauce, and kind of shields both of them from each other, and that way that dough has a chance to rise and cook up really nicely. So the other thing I wanted to point out is the pepperoni. You want to make sure that you use a really good quality pepperoni. It makes a world of a difference with this recipe. Also use whole milk mozzarella. And so I'm going to finish getting all these ingredients prepped. As soon as I am done, I will bring you in a little closer so we can go over the ingredients. The ingredients you're going to need for this recipe is some extra virgin olive oil, whole milk mozzarella, some pepperoni slices, pizza sauce, as well as some pizza dough, which I've allowed to double in size. You'll want to start by adding the extra virgin olive oil directly into the pan. Move it around a bit so that you can coat the bottom really well. Now I'm going to take my pizza dough and add it directly into the bottom. Just keep working this dough until you get it to stretch and fully cover the bottom as well as the corners. When the dough is ready, start adding on the pepperoni. On top of the pepperoni, you want to start adding on the cheese. Then take the pizza sauce and begin adding it onto the pizza. Just a little dollop here and there. Once you get the pizza sauce added on, you want to take any of your remaining pepperoni and go ahead and dress the top with the extras. Okay, I'm all done. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven and allow it to bake, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. Take a look at this pizza. You can tell that when it's done because all the pepperoni will start to develop some color. The edges will get nice and crispy. I'm going to let this sit for just a bit before we cut into it. Now that the pizza's had some time to cool, I'm going to go ahead and cut into it so you can see the inside. You'll want to be very careful because the pizza is hot. Look at all that cheese, that ooey gooiness. I like to garnish mine with just a little fresh basil over the top, as well as some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And there you have it. Give you a good 360 angle. See all that melty gooiness? The pepperoni's got a nice little crusty texture on them, but the best part is this right here. That is the best part. Now it is time for me to give this pizza a taste. Want to make sure I can talk after I bite, so I'm not gonna take too big of a bite. And it's very hot, so I'm not trying to eat it with my hand. I'm gonna use a fork this time. Oh yeah. The bread is nicely, the pizza dough is nicely cooked through. That sauce is delicious. The pepperoni, the cheese, exactly what you look for in a good deep dish pan style pizza. So good. You got to give this recipe a try. I'll be sure to include down in the description box below a link to my blog where you can find this written recipe, as well as the recipe for my pizza sauce and pizza dough. As always, I thank you for spending time with me here today, and chew. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye.